All right, today we are with Amber, Alert FF, and we are going to talk about four tight ends whose value has been altered, whether for the better or for the worse, this offseason. Amber, who's your number one guy?
All
Or,
right, so we're going to dive into losers real quick. I feel like I hate to say this as a Bears fan and a Kmet truther. Cole Kmet is definitely a loser in this free agency. Even with the potential of Caleb Williams coming on, we've got Swift, we've got Allen added to the mix in Chicago. I think that his value sinks this year. I mean, drafting Williams will add to his floor, but his ceiling is definitely capped due to the amount of targets. And then a rookie quarterback, no matter what happens, it's a rookie quarterback, right? We still have to deal with the ebb and flow of learning the system. And from what we've seen from his ego, I don't know if it's true or not, if it's just a bunch of rumors, but if we have to deal with his ego as well, we might have some issues, and his father. So with that being said, Kmet, I think, is on the losing side of this free agency. What do you think?
I agree 100%. The rookie quarterback is a problem. DeAndre Swift, Keenan Allen, all of these targets going to other places. But also, they went and signed Gerald Everett as well, who is a pretty good pass catching tight end in his own right. And so, as much as you like to think Kmet can beat him out and be the starter, he is going to lose some tight end snaps to Everett. I could see some sort of rotation or maybe 11 personnel where they get them both on the field at the same time. Either way, his targets are going to take a pretty good hit this year.
Yeah, I agree. I'm hoping to see, some action still with him being, the veteran on the Bears. Obviously Everett coming in is going to take from that, but fingers crossed. But right now, this is what we're looking at.
Yep. All right. Who's our second guy?
Ooh, we're gonna go to my second loser and somebody that I was big on, about 2 years ago, Jonnu Smith. All right, he's going to the Dolphins. We see Gesicki leave. Now we've got Smith coming in. He's a great, he's a great blocker, but I really think that he's going to be just a safety net for Hill and Tua. The issue with him is that he had a career high in receptions in 2023 on the Falcons, right? So with that being in Arthur Smith's system, I don't even know what that's going to look like, but we know that the Dolphins don't use tight ends like that. So I am a little concerned because we've got a massive skilled positions filled on the Dolphins, and I just don't think Smith is it.
Yeah, I liked Jonnu when he was with Tennessee. Thought he was going to be a stud when he went to New England. Kind of a weird mini resurgence last year in Atlanta, which got him this job in Miami. But you said it; they just don't use tight ends in this system, and I don't see that changing because of him. Like, I don't know. I think I agree with you. He's definitely a loser this offseason. There's a lot of other places he could have went to get more targets and more work. So he's going to be a break glass in case of emergency type player only.
He's the little cigarette in the tube for whoever's on the boat that's sinking. I feel that.
All right, number 3. I think we're moving into our winners now.
Yeah, let's go into some winners that we're not talking about out there. And I would say that Hunter Henry actually might be a winner in this free agency. When you sign somebody for a second contract for that amount of money, there's no way that they're not going to use him, especially with Belichick gone. I think so. Watching Henry's targets decrease over the past 3 years has been pretty insane because, I mean, he's good at his job, but it just shows you that with a new OC and a new coach, you might have a better opportunity for him. With Van Pelt as the OC, he's got some connection with Austin Hooper, which might take away from targets from Henry. But I think that there's an opportunity here for him to really showcase his skill set. And again, with these large contracts, how can you expect him not to get the targets? Like, I don't know how that works, right? I mean, unless he's giving up his body, blocking. Like, that's it, right? Like, that can't be it.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like last year, I thought he was going to take a hit when they signed Gesicki, and then Gesicki didn't do anything. And he had a pretty good year for what he had throwing the ball at him, right? This year, they're going to draft a QB at number 3.
Right.
which it doesn't matter who they end up taking there. It's going to be a massive upgrade over Bailey Zappi or Mac Jones. Gesicki's gone. The only guy they did bring in was Austin Hooper, who held off Michael Mayer in Oakland last year as a rookie. I don't see that being the case here. Hunter Henry's a legit receiving threat at tight end. I don't see Hooper being able to steal many receiving snaps from him this year.
Yeah, I definitely see a target increase, which is what we are looking for. So
You love it. And he can be had for super cheap in drafts.
exactly. That's what we're going for. We're trying to have you guys buy low over here, right?
Exactly. Much like this last guy on your list.
Yes, and that's Michael Mayer. I think with Jacobs gone, we had some definite coaching issues, right? Obviously, with the Raiders last year. With AP in charge, I think he's going to make a very versatile, all-inclusive system. And just the way that he coaches, I think that he's team first. And I think that Mayer's going to have the opportunity. Also, let's really look at tight ends developing in their third year. And I think that's what we've been seeing. I mean, that's kind of been the history, but we expect these first round, second round picks to like really just blow out and show up. But it's tight ends. They need a couple years to develop. They've got receivers and running backs they're running behind. And also, again, giving up their very large bodies for the game. So I think that he's going to have plenty of opportunities. I think that the target load is going to increase for him this year. And I think that we're going to see a drastic ceiling increase for Mr. Mayer. What do you think?
I definitely agree. Sam Laporta is the exception, not the rule, right?
Right.
You never see rookie seasons like that out of tight ends. You just don't. And this guy was going into the draft one of the top 2 or 3, depending on who you talk to, tight end prospects in that draft last year. I mean, think Trey McBride, right? Rookie year, nothing. I'm not saying he's going to have a Trey McBride type jump.
Right.
But, you don't always see it first year is my point. And, with Minshew in at QB now and getting rid of Hooper, bringing in Harrison Bryant, who I think is less of a threat to steal targets.
Agreed.
I really like his chances to take a pretty good leap.
Yep.
Next year in targets and production.
I mean, I think in general too, the production that we've been expecting, and then over the past few years watching, like our expectations have to be lowered and lessened over the time, right? Like we've had to decrease those expectations. So I think that again, you need to have tight ends on your board that you're willing to like buy low or just have a couple waiting around, and you get that number 1 guy, but you need 2s and 3s as well. So again, none of these guys I think are like breakout, I'm going to win you your season and get you that championship, but they're definitely going to assist in those streaming weeks that you really need some help, especially bye weeks, right? So keep an eye out. I think this is a perfect compilation for that.
Yeah, I don't think he's, like you said, he's not going to jump into like that super elite tier or whatever,
right.
But I don't see any reason why he can't make the jump into that Ferguson, Kmet, Njoku kind of range this year, and you can get him a whole lot cheaper than those guys. So,
ain't that the truth?